You're listening to the What the Wrestling Podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Oh, you already know what time it is.
Perfect.
WrestleMania is in the books, baby. WWE, UFC, sale imminent, baby. Wow, what a crazy weekend in wrestling. We will get to it. I'm going to make a separate video about the WWE sale to Endeavor, but I don't want to talk about that on this. This is strictly for WrestleMania night one recap, night 2 review. And before we get started, hit the goddamn like button, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. What the Wrestling rolling across your screen. Facebook, IG, Anchor, TikTok, and YouTube as well. So, before we get into anything, let's go! Yes, yes, yes! 'Tis I, RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling, the show that brings you all things wrestling. I am your host, once again, RJD here to talk about WrestleMania. This is your WrestleMania Night 2 review. Thank y'all for joining me. Thank you for joining the show. Listen, before we get into anything, yes, WWE appears to have been sold, and that's crazy.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And I will give everything I know about that in a separate video. Look out for that. It will be out later. This is coming out right now. So with that being said, night 2, ladies and gentlemen, how you feeling? Some people
Nope.
Some people are not happy. They are not happy right now because Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns was a fantastic match. It had the emotion, it had the story, it had the interferences, it had the shenanigans, but it didn't stick the landing. Unfortunately.
Stop it. Get some help.
We're gonna jump right into it because that's the biggest thing everybody's gonna talk about. I think overall, as we talk about this match first, overall, this was a fantastic match. This felt like a main event. It had a big fight feel. I don't want to hear this Cody's not over bull crap. Nobody wants to hear that.
Get the fuck out of here!
Man, oh man, what a match this was. We had Cody and Roman. We had Cody wrestling to start it off. Roman using his big man power, even countering a disaster kick into a monstrous powerbomb. We had the shenanigans where Solo Sikoa kept interfering. But let's talk about the ending first, and then we'll reverse engineer this. So, Cody loses. I don't like this. I think they messed up.
Stop it. Get some help.
And here's why. Cody Rhodes, everything, finish the story, right? That was the whole thing. We got to finish the story. Get the story right. Finish the story. Everything that they've done with Roman Reigns, you beat Sami Zayn, couldn't beat him. Drew McIntyre couldn't beat him. Everything that, all the baby faces, Kevin Owens couldn't beat him. Everybody that tried to go at this brother has lost due to interference. Main event, Jay couldn't beat him. Due to interference, he lost because of Solo. Solo came in, and that's why Drew lost. Sami Zayn, we had interference. We had interference there. And all of this stuff has happened. Oh, Jay made his choice. All of this stuff has happened. And at the end of the day, they're not going to get another moment like the moment they got last night. I don't care. If you wanted Roman Reigns to get to 1,000 days and able to beat him,
You stupid.
that's stupid. Just because you need him to get to 1,000 days, that's dumb. And I don't also want to hear people talking about, oh, Cody's not a star. He can't draw.
You stupid.
Because go look at the house shows. Cody is a draw. And if you think not, that's false. So it ain't because of he can't draw. It ain't because he can't be the guy and he's not over. It ain't because of any other nonsense. But yet, they just did it, to swerve us? To show us that, y'all all thought Cody was gonna win, so we beat him just because. It's not because of some 1,000-day record. It's not because of that. We don't know why. And Triple H said, we don't end stories here at WWE. Okay, cool. You don't end stories, but you end chapters to stories. Triple H, you end chapters. This is true. You don't end stories, but you end chapters and you move on to a new chapter. We've been on this chapter for how long? Roman Reigns has been champion for almost 1,000 days, for a couple of years now. This was the culmination of all of the people he's beat. Cody had a torn pec. He came back. He won the Royal Rumble. You can't say the brother didn't go through anything to get to where he got to. He had a torn pec. He was out for 9 months. So stop the cap. All you people who say, he didn't go through adversity. Go tear your pec and then come back and let me know if you went through adversity or not. Go tear your pec and come back. So stop the cap. That's nonsense. He went through adversity. The story, everything was set up. Sami Zayn came in and the Usos came in and interfered. Sami Zayn came in and Kevin Owens came in to get the Usos up out of there. Stunner to Jay. Stunner to Roman. Get Jay out of there. Get Jimmy out of there. Stunner to Roman. Falls into the corner. Haluva kick by Sami Zayn. Solo Sikoa had already been kicked out. The story is there. Sammy and KO got their comeuppance. They got their licks in so Cody could have a fair fight and win this thing fair and square with 3 crossroads. This should have ended with that same ending, only instead of Paul Heyman jumping up on the ring apron, it should have ended with that 3rd crossroads and the crowd goes crazy. That's how this should have ended. Everything is set up. KO gets his revenge on the way to Cody winning. Sami Zayn gets his revenge on the way to Cody winning. Everybody gets their revenge for everything that Roman has done, maybe except for Drew McIntyre. But everybody gets their revenge on Mr. Roman Reigns for all of the years of torment that he's caused them, especially KO and Sami Zayn. Now they get their licks in before he loses. That's how you end this chapter. That's how you end it. Now what, you're going to end it at SummerSlam? You ain't going to have as many people as you had at WrestleMania at SummerSlam. You ain't going to have that many people, even if it is a stadium show. The pop ain't going to be as loud as it would have been right there. You strike when the iron is hot. The Acclaim should have won the tag titles from Swerve and Our Glory. They didn't. They ended up winning them at the next thing. The crowd was hot. The crowd was a little less. The pop was a little less, and the reaction was a little less to them winning. It was still great, but it was a little less because they should have striked while the iron was hot. You could argue that Sami Zayn shouldn't have won. You could argue that because you knew Cody was getting the main event of WrestleMania. You could argue that Drew McIntyre shouldn't have won because Solo Sikoa came in and made the bloodline even stronger. You could argue that. And it might have been a little too soon for Drew McIntyre. This is my point. They screwed up. And then, if you're gonna have Roman retain, come up with something more creative than the same nonsense you've been doing. Listen, I'm all for shenanigans, but you already had Solo Sikoa kicked out of the match. Why do you have him come back? You couldn't think of nothing better than that. I would have much rather Roman hit him in the balls and win than Solo Sikoa comes back after he already been banished to the back. He already got kicked out. You did this with Drew McIntyre. We saw this already. You couldn't come up with nothing that we haven't seen? At least if you hit him in the balls, it's like, well, damn. Cody won fair and square. People would have been mad, but it's like, they wouldn't have been like, this already, we already saw this. Didn't they do this already with Drew McIntyre? They had Solo Sikoa interfere. You could have had Roman do anything to win. Poke him in the eye on a disaster kick. Or Cody is a little bit too overzealous and he tries to do a moonsault because it's WrestleMania. He's going to hit a moonsault for the win. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Something. Have Cody beat himself. And maybe Cody looks a little foolish, but listen, you ain't getting that. You ain't getting that type of momentum back. You ain't getting that back. That moment, you ain't getting that moment back. It ain't happening. Unless you're going to beat him at next year's WrestleMania, you ain't getting that moment back. It's not happening. It's not. So he's going to lose the thing at SummerSlam when he could have lost it right here. And then people are talking about, oh, Jey Uso. Me personally, I think he loses the titles when Jey Uso interferes and costs him the titles. I think that's how he loses. And now that the Usos have lost the titles, now you could begin to see main event Jey descend and really start to question the tribal chief. It's going to take another 3 months for SummerSlam, 3 or 4 months. But now you begin to see him question it and like, man, this dude been manipulating me. He choked out my brother to get me to quit. Man, screw the tribal chief. And then you can have Jey, it's going to be shenanigans. You can have Jey come down and super kick Roman right into a crossroads or whatever. However you do it. Because things have gotten so bad between Jey and Roman. Maybe Jey beats up on Jimmy. Maybe Jimmy does something wrong and Roman loses his cool and he beats Jimmy's ass. And you know Jey will do anything for his brother. Maybe that's how you do this. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But they missed a great epic moment. They missed it.
Stop it. Get some help.
They dropped the ball. To me, that's how I feel about this. The first part of this match was a wrestling match. The second part of this match, we had big moves. We had a Superman punch, counter, a disaster kick. We had Solo Sikoa kept interfering in this match, and then he ends up getting ejected because he hit Cody with the weight belt that he gave to -1. Shout out to Cody for that. He hit Cody with the weight belt. I think it's the same weight belt he gave to -1. Maybe he just took it from him. And because of that, the ref heard it, looked at him and said, I know you've been getting into interfering with this match, so you're out of here.
Get the fuck out of here!
Shout out to the ref for that. Good referee tonight. And then after that, Cody has the match won. You have a spear kick out. You have a crossroads kick out. Then the Usos come down. They do their shenanigans. But like I said, they hit him with the 1D. But right after that, you have everybody going crazy because Sami Zayn and KO come and get the Usos out of there. You have a stunner to Roman. You have a haluva kick to Roman. One last screw you to Roman Reigns from Sami Zayn. The ref wakes up. A slow 1, a slow 2, a slow 3. No, he kicks out. And then right after that, Cody has the match won again. He hits him with 1 crossroads. He hits him with 2 crossroads. And on the 3rd crossroads, Paul Heyman gets on the apron. And then Solo Sikoa comes back out from the back in which he was banished. He came back out, Samoan Spike, Super Spear, and that was all she wrote. Man, listen.
Surprise, motherfucker.
People were stunned. People were not happy. People were sitting there wide-eyed. This was an epic match, but I think the end, the booking on night 2 in general was weird, but the end was not great. The end was bad. I didn't like the end. I didn't like the end because they could have done better. They could have done better than what they did. Cody should have won this match. This match was immaculate, but Cody should have won this match. Hands down. Hands down. So that's how I'm looking at it. The beginning of this match, Cody came down, kissed his baby, kissed his wife. Shout out to -1. I saw Mr. Huber's wife posted on Twitter. She put a picture up. She was said she was bawling and crying through through Twitter. All around good to see -1 out there, man. Good to see him. But all around just awesome stuff. I was happy to see that. I was happy to see that. But they missed it, man. They missed it. There are certain times where you gotta just pull the trigger. Cody is over as hell, and people wanted to see Roman lose. I don't know if it's the Mayweather effect. You know, they would buy the pay-per-views just to see if Mayweather would lose, or if it's I really want to see Cody win. But they had him. They had the crowd. They had that crowd. That felt like a main event. It looked like a main event. It was wrestled like a main event. Crowd was hot as hell into this match, but they dropped the ball. To me, they dropped the ball. I don't know what happened there, but that was wild. That's all I gotta say about that. That was the end. Now, before we get to the beginning, let's talk about night 2 in general. Night 2 was not as good as night 1. Night 2 also had a lot of shenanigans in the middle. Let's talk about this now. Might as well. Poor Shane McMahon. What the hell was that about? So, let's talk about this now. The Miz came down, and he got mad at Snoop Dogg because Snoop Dogg got him in the Pat McAfee match the night before. And he said, listen, my bad, dog. My bad, cuz. And he was like, wait, what? He said, no, not my bad. My bad. And then you heard, here comes the money. Money. You heard, here comes the money. And at first I was like, wait, what?
Get the fuck out of here!
Shane McMahon?
How dare you?
Where the hell is LA Knight? Yeah, let me talk to you. Where's Bobby Lashley? Bobby. Why do we have Shane McMahon? I mean, good to see Shane McMahon. I'm not mad at it, but it's like,
Not the cap.
where's Bobby Lashley? Where's LA Knight? Yeah. What are we doing here? You couldn't get Bobby Lashley in that spot, LA Knight in that spot? They didn't deserve to be on WrestleMania. Instead, Bobby Lashley came out with that big ass trophy so he could pose for the people. I know he's the Almighty and all that, but that didn't make sense. Please welcome the Almighty with the big ass Andre the Giant Battle Royal Trophy, Bobby Lashley. And he's gonna come out and do this to the crowd. But he don't get a match. Oh no, no match for him. No match for L.A. Knight. Yeah. Even though we're in Hollywood, no match for him either. But we got Shane O'Mac, baby. We got Shane O'Mac. Come on, man. That thing, come on. Let's do better.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Bruh.
We gotta do better. Now, Shane McMahon came down. They had a match. They were supposed to have a match in Miz's very sparkly suit. And Shane O'Mac, first of all, he throws these phantom punches, and it's like, oh, those punches don't look good at all. Yikes.
Nope.
And then he does a Irish whip, does the jump over. And listen, Shane is, I think, 50 plus. So it was a nice little jump over. I'm not going to lie. It was a nice jump over. But he landed, and like father, like son, he tore his quad, baby. Oh. Listen.
Stop it. Get some help.
I do not wish anyone to tear their quad or tear their pec or tear anything. That looked like it sucked. A torn quad. You can't even walk. It's probably extremely painful. It's going to cost you a lot of money for them to go in and reattach that quad to the muscle. So, or to the bone, I guess, whatever. But they had to get him out of there quick. They didn't show it. They got him up out of there. And eventually, they called an audible. Now, you heard Snoop kept his poise. Snoop is cooler than the other side of the pillow. He kept his poise. He's like, you all right, cuz? You good, cuz? And Snoop is hilarious. The Miz kept his composure. Everybody kept their composure in the ring. Now, I don't know if Snoop did this, the Miz called this, or it came from the back. But you heard the ref say, do a people's elbow. Do a people's elbow. You clearly heard the ref say that. The mic picked it up. I know I wasn't the only one who heard that. So, the Miz, I guess, they set it up right. Snoop hit him again, and then Snoop did probably the wackiest, slowest people's elbow you had ever seen in your life. But because it's Snoop, it made all the sense in the world. And then he did this like crazy jump elbow.
Perfect.
Shout out to Snoop, man. Shout out to Snoop, man. That made me laugh. And the crowd was probably like, they saved the segment. The crowd definitely was into this. They saved the segment. It was entertaining as hell. Shout out to everybody involved. Shane McMahon was helped to the back. You saw on Twitter people putting up that he was helped to the back and all of that. He was walking, but not under his own power. I really hope that he gets well soon. Even though nobody asked for this. So we really didn't need it, but it is what it is. We're not going to get mad at Shane for coming back. Even though he got fired a year ago and Vince or whoever called him to come back. Because you know that was a Vince McMahon move. And if you don't think so, I don't know. Something wrong with you.
Stupid.
Let's start at the top, baby. Brock Lesnar and Omos. Omos took Brock and flung him around. He had 2 bear hugs. And then we had 3 German suplexes, 1 F5. Impressive. And that was all she wrote. This was a, dare I say, a decent match. It was exactly what it needed to be. It didn't go no longer than 5 minutes. The best match Omos has had. Brock Lesnar had his working boots on. Shout out to him. Let's not undermine Brock Lesnar's greatness. Bumping all over the place he bumped all over the place for Omos. Omos literally just chucked him to the side like chopped liver. This was good stuff here. Shout out to them. Liv Morgan and Raquel versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda and Shayna versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. These ladies worked incredibly hard. It's just that the crowd didn't care.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And I think that's like the nature of the SmackDown's women's division. The crowd doesn't care. Ronda Rousey came out really quick at the end of this match. There was it was a bit clunky at times. People did mess up some stuff, and that's okay. Shit happens. But Ronda Rousey came out, looked up, armbar, and Shotzi tap. Shayna Baszler had I don't know if Shayna Baszler broke her ankle. She had her whole foot off, like her whole shoe was off. She was out there barefoot, and then she had one shoe on, one shoe off. It looked like she was having trouble walking. I don't know if she sprained the ankle or something. I hope she's okay. But I heard Ronda Rousey was hurt, and that's why she did the bare minimum. But it's like Ronda. It seemed like Ronda didn't care. The crowd didn't care. The viewers at home probably didn't care. These ladies worked hard. Liv, Raquel, Natalya, Shotzi. It's not like there wasn't good things in this match. It's just that the men's showcase where they're doing all this crazy shit is a hard act to follow. And the women, they couldn't follow the men in that aspect. And then it's like we didn't have a reason to want anybody to win. So it was weird. And then we had, to me, the second best match in all of WrestleMania. We had the I'ma beat your ass fest between Gunther Walter, aka Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus. Holy freaking hell. The story of this match: hit your opponent really, really hard in a safe place.
Perfect.
What I can say about this match will not do it justice. They beat the ever-living ish out of each other, and it was fantastic.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
There was at one point where Sheamus was doing the 10 beats, and it was like a chop, and then Sheamus hit him, and then Drew chopped him, and then Sheamus hit him, and then Drew chopped him, and then Sheamus hit him. And then the very next segment, Sheamus had Drew, and he gave him the 10 beats, and he gave him like 25 beats. The crowd, even Michael Cole was sitting there like, oh my God, the commentary team was sitting there like, Titus O'Neil was out there for commentary, and he was like, sugar honey iced tea, like, oh my God. The crowd standing up, everybody's just clapping uncontrollably. Everybody is just like, I don't know what to do, but we're just gonna clap and make noise for all of these people because they're killing each other for our entertainment. This is what this match was. They beat the ever-living piss out of each other, and they all probably went to have a beer afterwards. I saw I don't know if it was a real or fake meme where, first of all, Sheamus on Twitter, banger after banger after banger. I can't hit this button enough, man. One more time, DeMarco. Sheamus put banger after banger. He put that on Twitter, and Drew McIntyre, somebody put up a Twitter where Drew and Sheamus are laying back like this, and they're both laying on the steps, just laying there. Everybody's chest was red. I'm thinking Walter is the chop guy. Drew McIntyre Walter's chops sound like Drew's chops sound like it sounds like he's punching people. It's like, what are we doing? God damn. These brothers right here, man. I don't even care that Sheamus didn't win. Like, that's how good this match was. Oh, I'm gonna need some tea in a minute. I don't even care Sheamus didn't win. All I cared about was, after seeing this match, everybody looks better coming out of this match. Sheamus looks like a badass. Maybe the only one who looks bad is Drew because he took the pin. But Sheamus had a visible pin on Walter, but he got taken out by Drew. They stayed each other down, beat the hell out of each other some more. Walter got taken out of the match, and I kind of figured he was going to win because he was out for a while. And then by the time he came back, he powerbombed Drew. He powerbombed Sheamus onto Drew, and then powerbombed Drew and stacked him up and got the win. But this is the same guy that Vince McMahon was going to send to NXT, back down to NXT, because he thought he wasn't good enough.
You stupid.
The hell out of here. How do you not get Walter? He's like an 80s throwback. I'ma beat your ass and pin you. What? The Ring General. Come on, man. But they didn't know what to do with Walter until Triple H got there. Come on, man. What are we talking about? Anyway, go back and watch that match. Match of the year candidate for sure. Bianca Belair versus Asuka. This match was power versus striking. That's what this whole match was. Asuka's ability to strike and maneuver past Bianca Belair's sheer physical power. Bianca Belair hit a deadlift suplex from the outside of the ring to the inside of the ring. Very impressive. Bianca Belair is extremely strong. Shout out to her. The end came where Asuka tried to do the mist. She missed it. Bianca tried to hit her with the hair. She missed it. Asuka countered a clothesline into an armbar. Was about to get the tap, but Bianca literally slowly deadlifted Asuka from an armbar position all the way up, and she ended up hitting her with the KOD. Oh, man, 1 second, y'all. All right, cool. So, my bad. So she wins with the KOD, and that was great. And that was all she wrote there. And last but not least, before the main event, we had Edge versus the Demon, Finn Balor. Unfortunately for the Demon,
You stupid.
he's 0-2 in his last two matches. First of all, I guess Jesus beat him when Jesus made the turnbuckle go off the rails and Roman Reigns beat him. And then we had, I can't believe the end of that match. And then we had him and Edge. He got his head knocked off the hard way. And they had to literally stop the match and staple his head back together. They gave him a numbing agent, and then they stapled his head. They had to stop the match. He was bleeding profusely because Edge threw a ladder in his face, and it hit his head a little bit too good. Accidents happen. I'm sure they went and had a beer afterwards. Shit happens. But this was a very, very hard-hitting match. Great Hell in a Cell. Edge got the win. To me,
You stupid.
Edge didn't need the win. Finn Balor and Judgment Day needed the win. I like Judgment Day. I think Judgment Day still has legs. I think they could still do something with Judgment Day, especially now that Rhea Ripley is the SmackDown champ. But the problem is they keep losing big matches. They need to actually win and go for some belts and win the belts and shit like that. But they keep losing big matches, and that is going to cause them problems down the line. Because you can't keep losing big matches and then think that people are going to take you seriously. This match was great. We had kendo sticks, we had chairs, we had a coup de grace off the table, through a table by Finn Balor, but nobody was home. Edge did a great job of prolonging the ref stoppage because they didn't show it because, WWE doesn't do blood, but Edge did a good job of like going around the ring and looking for stuff and moving around so that people were distracted. And then after the ref stoppage, they basically did big move after big move after big move after big move all the way until the finish because the match got stopped for damn near 6-7 minutes after they had to staple Finn Balor's head together. And I did see the picture of it. It looked nasty. Speedy recovery to Mr. Finn Balor. But why bring back the Demon if Finn Balor's just going to lose? I mean, it's good. At WrestleMania, it was a dope entrance, but Finn Balor needed the win. Edge doesn't need the win. He's Edge. You could have had him win, and then you could have had him say, I'm done with the Judgment Day the next day. Or have him go away for a while and then come back and then just take him away from the Judgment Day. Not like we haven't seen them do that before with stories, where stories start and then they just stop. Like, you could have just had Finn Balor win and then say, I'm done with you. I'm done with your Edge. Bait him. And that's it. Like, but I digress, man. Whatever. This was a good show. The booking on night 2 was a little suspect. The booking on night 1 was A1 and perfect. A lot of good moments. WrestleMania as a whole, this is one of the better WrestleManias. This was a good WrestleMania, all in all. Part 1, part 2. I know people are going to say, oh, this shit sucks because Cody didn't win. No, let's not be disingenuous. This was a good WrestleMania. We had a couple of bad things. We had an end result that we all didn't like. Well, most people didn't like. But good WrestleMania, one of the better ones for sure. And that's all she wrote. So that's all I got for you on this. We will have a video out on what the wrestling talk about the sale and looking up all the intricacies in it and giving our thoughts. That's coming out later on today. Look out for that. As for me, RJD, I am out. This is your WrestleMania Night 2 review.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I'm out. Peace.